What is going on, First District? We are here with another weekly update. We're standing right here in Douglas Park, in the heart of our city, in the First District. So let's get started. This weekend, coming into the week, we had the Roots and Heritage Festival, starting off with line dancing, moving on into Saturday into the parade, and ending with a gospel concert. This weekend was full of culture and it was full of community. And we know we got to we got to continue to preserve our culture, uplift our community, and support our community members. So it was a great weekend at the Roots. Moving on, this weekend we also had two other visits. One to the Sisters Road to Freedom nonprofit on North Broadway. They're doing some great work, providing resources for the community. It is a hidden gem in our community. Check them out, doing some great work, and I thank you for all the great work that they are doing. And likewise, I did the Kings United Mentorship. So that is just a new mentorship program for our young men here in Lexington. We know that we got to continue to feed into our young men, let them know they can be whatever they want to be, and invest into them. So moving on to this week, Monday was pretty light. We had the Georgetown Street Neighborhood Association, which meets every second Monday here at Douglas Park at the Douglas Shelter at 6 p.m. Please come out. You know, we were there. We had staff there engaging. With every challenge, there is a solution. So we're here to be accessible. That's my number one commitment. And you can know that we're showing up. And if we're not at the meeting, more than likely we're always going to be there. But if we're not, just hit our office up, 859-280-8254, or just call 311, say Councilmember Morton's office. Just a quick tie-in. Moving on to Tuesday, we know Tuesdays are our main days. We had a GGP, so our General Government Planning meeting, in which we talked about the LPGMP program that is being led by Vice Mayor Wu and Councilmember Sheehan. This program is pretty much setting up a process of how and when we expand the urban service boundary in Lexington. There was some great conversations. I encourage you to go check that out to get informed about the LPGMP program. Moving on, we had a work session at 3 p.m. The most, I would say, important topic at the work session was the winter weather shelter, the emergency shelter, which they provided the location, and that's going to be on Versailles Road. So you can check that meeting out. The link will be in the comment, and you can see all the great conversations and get some more information about that. But we will be having an emergency winter shelter, and it will be on the Versailles Road corridor. Moving on to Wednesday. The most important thing was the St. Martin Village Neighborhood Association. So they meet every second Wednesday at the Whitney Young Park in St. Martin Village. Like always, like I said, please come out. We had staff there. We were there. We are always accessible, attentive, available, and responsive to the constituents of the First District. Moving on to Thursday. Thursday, first I want to say it was September 11th, 9/11, and I want to give a special shout out and especially a remembrance to the firefighters that lost their lives on 9/11, but a shout out to our Lexington Fire Department that are doing the great work and keeping our city safe. Please remember those in the tragedy that happened 9/11, and we give our sorrow. We had several meetings on that day, that Thursday, starting off with the downtown master plan internal meeting. My office met with the folks leading the downtown master plan, and it was through the lens of being intentional when we're engaging our First District residents in downtown. One, making sure that they are informed on what's taking place. Two, making sure that they're able to give input, but their input is taken into consideration, that it's valuable input. Understanding that, you know, our East End area and our downtown area of the north side needs investment, but that investment should be tailored to them, not just to what the city needs. It should be tailored to that community. So like I've always emphasized, we got to continue to preserve our communities, and when we're looking at growth, we're making sure that we're not growing for everyone else. We need to be growing for the community that is already there as well, and investing into their challenges. So that is what I emphasize, being intentional for this downtown master plan. Moving on, we went to a site visit right on Maple Avenue, and there were some concerns about some safety concerns. So as always, an accessible leader, being willing to show up, but then also, as I stated earlier, with challenges, we have to provide solutions. So we had some great conversations, and we're going to do a coordinated response for that area tied to the safety concerns. So if you have any challenges, reach out to the office, and we're going to figure it out. We're going to come up with an action plan. And then lastly, on that Thursday, we had a council meeting at 6 p.m. It was, it's our council meetings. They're pretty procedural, but we actually had, this one wasn't too procedural. We had a lot of public input, folks that came out and spoke out many different topics, many different categories. We had a rooster ordinance. The city just passed an ordinance that says that you only can allowed to have one rooster inside the urban service boundary. That passed. We had another contentious item was based on permit parking. It was not within my district, but I ended up supporting that because, as always, I tend to listen to the community members, the neighborhoods, for things like that. And then lastly, the main topic was the One Lexington program. So there was a couple items on the agenda for One Lexington. I think there was some sentiments and maybe some confusion about the thoughts that the program was going to be taken away. Was never a consideration. That was never a thought. There was just a need for information. With that information, we came to solutions, and now we're headed towards, everything is passed. I will say that as we're talking about gun violence, we have to be intentional, and we have to continue to address that head on, taking one bite of the elephant at a time, investing in our youth, investing in our undervalued communities, addressing root causes to poverty. That is how we're going to bring this gun violence down. That is how we're going to bring a lot of this criminal activity and the nonsense that's taking place across this world, across this nation, across this city. So that was Thursday. Lastly, today, Friday, just an internal day. We had a pretty important meeting, a community center working group meeting here at the Black and Williams in the West End, where we had great conversations, and we're working towards making our community centers more accessible, but then also more impactful all around. So that is the week that we just had, First District, and I will see you next week. Thank you.